something that can deal with it.
Well, we'll see what their answer is going to be coming on into this one. Reliable Union back on the A side of the draft, and we'll see how they're going to decide to play this one out.
Yeah.
Actually taking a long time on the first
They're going to ban
ban.
Vox. They're going to ban Vox and first pick Grace because Mousesports is going to ban Baron.
All right. Strong prediction. We'll see if it's going to come to play. I can believe it. It's not often that you're wrong with your draft predictions.
It makes the most sense because Vox on Apple is just too strong, and if they hand it over to him, they're gonna struggle. I feel, because Vox is going to glaive all the carries that they've picked. Vox is pretty good into, so they're taking their time. I don't know if they're there yet, but
I think they're considering not just the first ban, but also the rest of the draft. Like, okay, if we ban Vox, what happens throughout the draft? What are the next bans going to be? How do we build this entire plan? They are going to go for the Vox ban. Now, Mousesports, they have to answer. Are you forced into banning Grace here? Like, is that
Grace or
correct?
Baron?
I think it should be Grace. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and ban the Grace. That's the right call here.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen them be able to get. I mean, Reliable Union, that is, be able to dominate Mousesports with the Grace pickup.
They're gonna take Baron here for sure. If they don't, that's a really risky draft. If they do not take Baron, because he's such a strong carry in the game right now. And I've never seen Apple play Baron, so they're gonna take Grumpjaw instead of Baron. So that leaves Baron open for Mousesports completely. So Apple going to pick up this Baron here because I have not seen him play Baron yet. That's pretty exciting.
And this is like a perfect example of a meta shift, right? If the Baron is locked in, suddenly you end up with the two normal bans ending up being two normal picks. It is going to be Arden in the end, though. So another round of bans available, and that means Baron may well not get through.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very high likelihood that Baron does not get picked up. I know, looking at Apfel, his main account for his ranked games of late, he has 2 Baron games total played, so not a hero that he plays a ton of, at least on his main. Who knows what he's got on, if there's any other accounts there.
That's a shame. They need to ban Lyra here because Lyra into Arden is good. Lyra with Grumpjaw is really strong. Adagio Grumpjaw is really strong. I'm not sure if
But you can take
plays
Adagio if you really don't want to let them have it.
Yeah, I mean, that could work too, but Idris will be banned. Idris is a huge priority ban right now in EU. They feel like he's too strong, but I feel like there's a lot of hard counters to Idris. You know, as long as you engage on him, he's actually pretty squishy. Yeah. So let's see what Reliable Union. Reliable Union in the past has banned Lyra on the second phase, but I don't think they'll ban Lyra here. They may just ban Baron actually, but I don't think Apple plays Baron. So let's see if they're going to actually take the Baron off the map here.
It's going to be a curious decision from Reliable Union. They are running out of bonus time though, so they've got to get their plan together and figure out how they are going to do this.
That makes sense.
Baron's gone. Now Mousesports with the next pick. What are we expecting?
I would like to see. I would assume they're going to go for Mousesports a Black Feather just because that's,
they're going to take BF
that's
or Samuel
what they've
here.
been running so frequently. Black Feather, Samuel, maybe Batiste. Who knows if they actually play the Batiste? But I feel like they're going to go for those comfort picks.
Oh, Kestrel gets picked.
So the early game for Mouse has actually been quite weak in the first 2 games. Do we think the final pick needs to be something that actually can fight back in the early game a little bit?
Yeah, potentially. I think they may go with Captain Grumpjaw here and go with Glaive and Samuel again, which is a great pick into this composition here. Yep, they're probably going to do what they did. It worked well for them game 1. They just can't throw and lose the late game fight here. And then Mousesports will probably round it out with a Black Feather pick here. So they're going to go with Glaive and Grumpjaw Samuel, which is a very strong combination actually, and they executed that composition really well.
So if they do end up going with the Black Feather as the final pick for Mousesports, what do we think about this Arden being there instead of the Finn? How does that match up to game 1?
It's sort of similar. It's a lot of protection for only one of your carries this time. Doesn't have as much lockdown as the Finn, but it's a lot more mobile. You can do a lot more to get in, and if a target does get afterburned, you can then Vanguard onto them to give them a little bit of extra escape if they are the
dive in with them, I suppose. Yeah. At least there'll be a little bit more support there, but the Kestrel there now looking to round out this composition. The Glaive once again going over to the likes of Daredevil, so a lot of power for Reliable Union.
That's a nice and interesting pick there.
Throwback to last season.
Yeah, this is going to be intriguing. We saw a bit of Rona from the American players at the Unified Live as well. a lot up in the air. I mean, what do we make of this composition from Mousesports? Like, how does this play into the game?
Yeah, if Rona jumps into Samuel, gets a Vanguard, gets the ultimate off, she can delete and destroy Samuel really quickly. And Rona counters Glaive. She beats Glaive because Glaive can't fight when she's ulting with her Whirlwind. So as long as they execute the comp nicely, and I'm the Doom's on TP Kestrel, which I really like, they could probably potentially win this game.
There's also the fact that it kind of eliminates a target for the Afterburn, because if you Afterburn Rona into your team, she is thrilled to be there. So it's one of those situations where you have to be even more careful with your Afterburn target selection. And like you said, hopefully it is going to be that CP Kestrel for I'm the Doom, which we've seen this season. We've heard so much about. It's really, really strong.
Yeah, we've got I'm the Doom on a comfort pick. We've got a potential stroke of genius in that Rona pick to go against the Glaive. Maybe Mouse have cracked the draft here. We're going to have to find out for this one. Don't forget to get involved in social media as well. Hashtag Vainglory8 is how you can let us know who you're supporting, whether you want Mouse to win or whether you want Reliable Union to get back on into this series. I mean, get back into this series. They just won the last game, so I feel like they've got the momentum
to win the series.
Exactly, yeah, if you want them to take this one home. But, I mean, looking across the compositions then, going back to Reliable Union specifically, how do they play around this Rona? Like, what is the protocol now that you're going against this different composition?
If they land a good Afterburn on Kestrel and get her out of position, they're going to win every fight. Kestrel has to position perfectly this game. And I feel like the matchup is going to be in jungle. If HF guy can snowball and get ahead, then they have a really good advantage. However, I'm the Doomed. If he is able to outpoke and outplay HF guy, they're going to basically take this game home because his Kestrel outranges everyone on that team right now.
And that is a huge question as well, because, you know, that has been a big contention, but it's time to get on into this game. So let's pass it over to our casters and get into game 3.
Really, really enjoying the drafts this series. It's unexpected. I don't think we had Reliable Union pegged to take such dominant games towards Mouse. And, you know, even in their Game 1 loss, Reliable Union were the dominant team and the team that I think many people thought deserved to win.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Honestly, Mouse are kind of lucky to be here in a Game 3, and that's not something you'd expect to say heading into it. Let's talk about their draft, though. This is definitely a departure from the meta. It's something a little bit new. That being said, we're on week 1 of 2.6, so who knows? Maybe Rona's really good, and everyone's been keeping a tight lid on it, or hadn't found it yet. I'm pretty interested to see how Apfel plays it. It does seem like a hero where he's going to have potential, you know, for outplays, etc. This is why I like to see Apfel on. And against Daredevil in lane on this Glaive, he can certainly compete on a much more level playing field than some of the games we saw earlier on where Daredevil was just able to bully around Apfel. For example, on that Gwen, it was really hard for him to make plays. Here comes a fight early on, though. Both these captains helping out top lane.
Vanguard was like really well timed because it soaked up a lot of the burst damage that the Grumpjaw came out. What Mouse have done with this draft is they've completely changed the dynamics of the fight that was Game 1, where they were kiting, hoping that they could poke people down and then re-engage the fight. Instead, they have a gauntlet available to them, and they have a Rona who's going to provide so much backline threat. So if Reliable Union do want to go for fights, then actually what Mouse do is they either re-engage instantly with the gauntlet with the Rona, or they're the ones aggressing and creating the fights rather. Either way, I'm very happy to see that they didn't contest the central tree and give up kills early to HF guy.
Me as well. I'm also happy to see the Reliable Union. I mean, they are an assertive team. I think that's a great way of describing them. They basically said, all right, we're going to play the bush. Kestrel's not there, we're going. And they just did. You know, they just took the sentry. I think that was smart. As a result, you know, Mouse is starting to fall behind a little bit in the early game. Obviously, it's not a great deal yet. But if HF guy finds openings to fight in the jungle, you can bet that if Mouse isn't careful, things will get out of hand kind of quickly. You know, we've seen that before in this series.
No, we're seeing it now as Doom does get caught by the Malice and Bergs, but he's an early boots purchase to try and keep himself nice and safe in the jungle. Justman taking a lot of poke here. Is he okay is the question. Doesn't seem like he is. No, first blood gonna go to HF guy again. And Mao's just not respecting the damage of this Samuel.
This has been, what, 3 games in a row?
Yep.
Right? When do you learn? Mouse are not responding to what Reliable Union is bringing to the table. I'm the Doom. He's going to try and steal away some back camps. It looks like, actually, he is going to get away with it. That's pretty lucky for him. Using stealth just to navigate away. Did HF guy see him?
No.
Oh, man. That was kind of close.
HF guy's kind of really wondering, like, did I do these a different way? Like, are these about to respawn? Did they get stolen? Like, that's why he's waiting around right now, because he actually thinks that his camp is about to respawn. Soon enough, he's going to realize that a cheeky Kestrel had come by, and this is the point. He's like, where is she? Like, it's very, very funny watching, because he only took one of the camps, and it was just before any visual effects could have been there.
Ooh.
In the lane, Apfel gets afterburned in out of position, but will be able to jump away. I'm the Doom's going to come in and try and provide a bit of return fire, push Daredevil back so that Apfel can heal up with his Book of Eulogies. But this has been a very interesting start to the game.
It has. I'm a bit concerned for Mousesports, although hang on,
the damage onto HF guy.
Ooh.
I'm the Doom's out of energy. I don't think he's going to be able to get the kill. Oh, okay. I forget, this is I'm in the Doom and playing Kestrel, so I don't know where.
When you get some adrenaline and the cost of those goes down, it can make it possible to go for a chase like that. Look at the gatekeeper of the jungle, though. He's going to be looking to stop and invade.
Jungle has intensified.
So tanky with the living armor, man. You have to really stack it down. You have to be auto-attacking as a team. Look at Apfel. He's actually been knocked back out of position. I'm the Doom's going to come up. Can they turn the fight? Daredevil under his turret, and the Glimmer Shot going to connect. It's I am the Doom playing Kestrel. You wouldn't expect anything different. And now Mouse seems to be in the driving seat of this game for the first time of the series.
Yeah, I like that they're starting to apply some pressure. They're finding windows of opportunity to make plays. HF guy does not want to let this continue, though. He's got some good damage right now.
He does, and the Malice and Verdicts are going to take I'm the Doom down, it seems. One more, and there it is. Gets the return fire, and he's going to look to try and steal away these backs. Crystal Sentry's there. Just Man.
Double kill.
Okay, he just goes down.
I got nothing, man.
I don't know what else to say about that. Apfel here, I don't know why he turned around. Perhaps he thought that Glaive was close, but there was no way the Glaive was close. He just could have chased HF guy, but he decided not to. The Crystal Sentry was on his side. And now, whatever driving seat Mouse was in before, well, they've definitely exited that. AJ, I know that you said you have nothing. No need to become a mute, though. We do still value your color commentary.
I know. I was just committing to the play. You know, I was like, all right, I got nothing. I really
respect that.
In all seriousness, though, you know, that was an interesting turnaround from Apfel. I know you're mentioning it. I think he made the read that Drifting Dark was coming back up, and I do think potentially, especially with Apfel not being level 6, that HF guy would have been able to find the kill during that kite, because the sentry was on the wrong side of that wall, not able to back Apfel up properly. Just Man is my big question mark right now, though. Like, other members of Mouse are playing smart in the situations which are a bit dicey. Just Man is just way out of position again and again. He's got to work on it. He's really got to tighten up his play. If things get out of control because your captain keeps dying and giving away gold, then your carries, no matter how safe they're playing and how smart they're playing, will not be scaling at the same rate as your opponents.
We'll have to see how that scaling game kind of affects this, because Rona scales so well into the late game, becomes such a threat, and with the build that is available to Rona, double sustain, it's so tricky to actually get it down. You're going to have to get a Poison Shiv on Daredevil, and he hasn't really wanted to build that yet. Look at the damage onto him. Has hit level 6, but he's forced to use the Afterburn defensively. One shot unlocked, doesn't connect onto Daredevil. The Shattered Glass would have meant that that was a huge portion of his HP bar gone if that was to hit.
It's really difficult for Apfel and Man to make plays in the lane. I almost feel like maybe they could afford to be a bit more aggressive in jungle, though, because I'm the Doom is in a nice spot. You know, he does have the ability to back up the plays. Whereas if you try and jump on Daredevil, he's just going to afterburn away, at least until you have the Gauntlet, which, you know, Just Man is about halfway to level 6. Oh, that's a lot of AoE.
Oh, look at how split HF guy is from his team. What is this position? The Oblivion goes out. It does put Apfel to sleep, but there was just no way that he survived that. What was the point of coming along when he knew that Mouse were going to be stacked up all together in the bush because he saw them rotate there? Really misplay from HF guy. He's been a star this entire series. And all the moment, we'll talk about it later. Apfel gets swallowed up. He's going to get one shot to try and supply a bit of cover fire, but he just gets completely annihilated.
I love how we saw HF guy use the in-game chat to be like, we need vision, and then he like walks into the tri-bush and instantly dies. So
this is my favorite change in 2.6.
That we can see the communication of the teams in spectator mode. It just makes it for me. But all right, so let's talk about what else happened since that moment. Apple going a bit too deep. That was a very bold play by him. You're not a level 12 Rona with a lot of lifesteal. You're not going to be able to just go in and heal up through these dives. So they've really got to be careful about committing under an objective like that. If they want to fight in the jungle, I think they can 3v3. I really do. HF guy again trying to flank. Look at this.
No, he's just getting caught out, isn't he? Goes down. Not sure what actually killed him there. But he goes down. That was a little bit weird. Either way, it is going to be Mouse coming into lane. They've got a gauntlet. Can they catch Daredevil is the question. He is going to use the afterburn defensively. Dustman not looking for the proactive play, but now with HF guy down and an opportunity to put some glimmer shots onto this turret, we'll have to see Mouse can actually get enough damage down to make this work. HF guy's gone to his backs here, so that opens up even more opportunity for Mouse, but they don't know this, so they might just fall back regardless.
HF guy's really trying to be the playmaker for his team, and you gotta realize, like, mentally after the last 2 games, he's in that place, right? Like, he's been making plays, he's been the one pushing the tempo, so going into this game, I get that he wants to keep doing that. But like he said, you need vision, right? Like, you need to be able to know that if you go for the flank, you're not going to get collapsed on. He's miles away from his team. As good as Afterburn is, it can't jump the entire height of that Kraken pit in the middle. He's not going to be able to back you up. Look it up in the same spot. I'd like to see the split maybe just be Glaive trying to make the flank. Maybe HF guy can just push the lane, or alternatively, you have HF guy and Look it up both go for the flank below, and Daredevil push the lane, because Daredevil can get away. He has Afterburn. HF guy, if he gets cut out of position,
ooh, the one shot. Oh! That is the least HP I've seen anyone ever. HF guy just about escapes. And this is going to be Mouse looking to try and push the turret in. Let's see what Daredevil can do. He's going to have to walk straight into a I'm the Doom trap here. They've got the gauntlet available. This turret's just going to go very low. Will they go for the engage, or will they just try and focus the turret? Seems strange that Mouse are playing so defensively when they know that the Samuel is out of the picture for some time, but perhaps respecting the stuff that Likodov can use to really push someone out of position.
They don't really need to respect the stuff that much when Justman, I mean, he was on the ball there. He used Vanguard to go right in front of it. It would have not landed onto a good target. If you landed on Justman, Apfel, and I'm the Doom are just going to blow someone up. Mouse maybe being overly cautious. That's a first for the series. They've been way too aggressive for a lot of it. I do like that they're adapting to the mistakes that I think they've been making over the course of the series. Reliable Union, they're still in a good spot though. Let's not forget that they are a team comp that, with the Samuel and the Glaive are still going to be going through kind of a long power spike all throughout, 5 to 15 minutes. They're going to be doing a lot of work. Apfel needs a bit longer to really make it happen. Look it up. He's going in.
Going to land onto Apfel. He's not going to really care too much. He could just sustain through the damage inside this gauntlet wall. He is going low, but jumps away, and that's going to be on the Doom, taking down Daredevil, looking to escape the Oblivion. He's going to reposition and look for HF guy next, it seems, as he's right behind. Look at this trap he's setting up. Can he stun? Will they walk into it? No. Oh, Likodov does, and that will be him going down. Now HF guy with the Malice and Verdict, the drifting dark, it's empowered. He can do a lot of damage. He's going to find himself a double kill, it seems, as Justman tries to escape, but cannot. What a turnaround for Reliable Union, turning a fight that was just so seemingly in favor of Mouse into perhaps even a turret take.
Sometimes you luck out and you're sort of random tapping to make it hard for skill shots to hit you because no one can predict where you're going, ends up dodging you.
Oh my gosh, no, HF guy, no! He's gonna die! Yeah, he does! The turret survives! Oh, wow.
Wow, that was really close. Apfel, I mean, good job defending the turret. That does mean that maybe a counter push with the members of Mouse making their way in could come through, go for the turret. Apfel wants to set up a fight, in fact.
Yeah, I'm the Doom's here. Double Shadow Glass picked up already. He's got the double energy battery, so he has the sustain, and these turrets are going to take so much damage. Look at that, just flying on out. Incredible stuff so far from the side of Mouse to be keeping up tempo with Reliable Union, because so far, this series has been very one-sided towards Reliable Union with a very unfortunate throw. But Daredevil.
One shot.
One shot.
It
Does
lands.
connect. Lovely stuff from I'm the Doom.
The trick there is always, if you're on a direct trajectory for the turret to move, like, up more quickly so that you don't have to force yourself in that position. Tough spot for Daredevil, though. He goes down to HF Guy.
God, the damage onto HF Guy. He just gets blown up by Doom, and Apfel finishes the job. This is going to be the turret finally falling, as Mouse will have no reason not to commit to taking it. Will they go for the gold miner as well, try and push their lead is the question. Seeming like I'm the Doom's going to at least get some energy from one of these treants, and yeah, there's the gold miner being started up. They do have Daredevil and Likodov available to push on in, but there's already traps being set up by I'm the Doom, and that's going to stun both of them. This gold miner can be stolen, and it's going to be secured though by a one-shot. Likodov loses his life. Great gauntlet placement by Justman. If they dived on in, then they couldn't steal the gold mine, so it was a fool's errand to try.
All right, so there's some modality to Reliable Union's composition. They can play this in a number of ways. The way they've been playing up until this point is we spike earlier than you, we're going to be aggressive and try and pressure you. And that's fine, but it started to backfire. So they need to turn on the other mode. They need to say, all right, we got a Samuel, we're going to kite you, we're going to use Glaive to peel. I think it's time that they really swap up their plan because, 2 fights in a row, 3 fights in a row, things are not going well for them. And Mousesports seem to have found their groove in addition to that. You need to mess with what they know they can get away with right now. Although
Justman walking away. Active camos traps there. Will they step into it? No, they're stepping around it. And that's going to be this Kestrel swallowed up by Likodov. He gets spat out. I'm the Doom repositions. And HF Guy is going to run straight into the trap. He gets destroyed, but the one-shot channel from Doom ends up being his demise as the ace comes through for Reliable Union.
So I was talking about swapping up your strategy. You don't need to when you're gifted a pick onto the captain of your opponent's team. Justman. What's going on, Delcy? This whole game, he has been massively out of position. You got to wonder if maybe this is sort of a nerves thing. You have this great performance in week 1. You look really good on day 1 of week 2. You're like, all right, we're good. And then Reliable Union comes out of nowhere. Maybe he just feels a little bit under pressure. Whatever it is, Justman needs to tighten up. I said it earlier, but your team just got ahead. That's the worst time to throw it all down the drain again. Mouse just hit critical mass. They just hit the point where Reliable Union had the onus on them to change up what they were doing, and they threw it away there. So Mouse still in a strong position, but with the spikes Reliable Union just picked up, they do have to be a little bit more careful. We've got an infusion now into Daredevil 2. They're going to be looking to fight sometime soon.
Yeah, here we go. Mouse starting to set up some traps. Do get spotted out by these flares from Likodov. I'm the Doom separated from Justman, but the Vanguard going to bridge the gap there as Mouse are trying to channel Reliable Union into a dangerous corridor, but Reliable Union very careful with their flares to make sure that that isn't the case. Likodov will be investing a lot of money into it. He's decided not to go contraption. That means that every time he goes shop, he does have to purchase a lot, and they have just ran out of flares as well, which means that for Reliable Union, traps are deadly. Likodov tagged down 1/3 of his HP. There's not going to be the end of the world.
The other big thing to note here is that Mousesports aren't really, the team that actually wants to engage. They need to use traps from I'm the Doom.
Ooh, Likodov misses his stuffed. Now, will they be able to get the fight is the question. The one shot, it would have killed, no, it did kill Likodov, and now looking for this HF Guy as well. It is destruction. Daredevil looking for Apfel, but look at the sustain on this Rona. It just didn't even tickle him, it seemed. An ace comes through for Mouse, and they're going to take the Kraken.
All right, so Mouse, that was actually a nice engage. I was just talking about how it's kind of hard for them to make that work, but they did a perfect job. Apfel bought a lot of space for I'm the Doom. They did luck out in the sense that Likodov actually backed directly into a one-shot. It was going very wide, but it managed to actually land and take him down. Kraken now picked up for Mousesports. This is what they need to start really cementing their lead. It's a team I really do believe that's going to struggle a lot of times to go for a good engage because so much of Crystal Kestrel's power is based on disengage and sort of counter-engage. But when you can leverage the Kraken that's pushing anyway, you can find different windows that you normally could to actually go for fights.
Yeah, no, it's looking good now for Mouse as they starting to have their composition start to really outplay Reliable Union in the fights, and these flares from Likodov are going to have to be on point if they want to avoid traps. Currently Doom just baiting them in to these traps and trying to find the angles. Great damage from the Glimmer Shots, just tearing through this turret, and that's going to be it falling before the Kraken even gets really damaged down too much. Will Mouse be able to finish here and now is the question, or will they play this one nice and slowly? I think it has to be the latter. When you have a Kestrel, you can't really force the issue. The turret, though, the Kraken won't be able to take it. That means Mouse are going to be falling back for now, waiting to try and trap Reliable Union into another bad engagement.
If Mouse wanted to try and force the issue, it needed to be right after the turret fell, so that there was a large distance where the Kraken was still, pushing and you had to divide your attention. They decided not to. I think that's fine. Mouse, this is kind of a critical game. You're playing to get into the finals and to maintain the small but strong legacy that you have after game 1 and week 1. Reliable Union, though, they look fantastic, Dalsy, and I guess whether or not they can actually close out here, we can certainly say that they've made big strides, big improvements. I am looking forward to seeing them in the next weeks. Here comes the Engage, though.
Oh, the Engage does go down, but Doom manages to escape, traps up, and there's a great Gauntlet catching Likodov. One shot's gonna dare through. No, Likodov blocks it, but it doesn't matter because Apfel's there. Oblivion gonna get blocked up. HF guy can't escape this damage, and Apfel's gonna go in for the double kill. It just leaves Likodov, last man standing, gonna try and take down Doom by himself, get over the wall, and escape this damage, but it seems like Mouse are ready to go. You can't stuffed over that, buddy, and that should be the ace coming through. How many seconds? It's 20 on Daredevil. Mouse, can they finish is the question. They've got a minion wave pushing with the ace buffed up, but it's going to be a close call.
I think they can probably push for the win here, Dalsy. Mousesports, we talked about their counter engage being very strong. That was not the best of engagements coming in from Reliable Union. They needed to be closer together so they could really back up the captain. Wow, Mousesports are actually going to back away here. They're playing it super safe. With a Rona, that seems like it was a game win, but Mousesports, I don't think they lose fights easily, so if you want to take it safe, your prerogative, I think it's fine to do that. Reliable Union, maybe they can find a better engage next time, though.
One thing that Reliable Union have going for them is they have a scout trap on that Kraken, which means that they knew that the Kraken wasn't spawned yet. They knew that Mouse couldn't be doing it. They're not being baited into an area that is currently what I'm the Doom's trying to set up. See those scout traps in that little corridor? He was hoping that Reliable Union rush straight to the Kraken so they could bait out a fight. A Skull's going to hit Apfel here. This is pretty big. If they can find a kill is the question. It's going to spit him out. It's going to be him knocked right out of the fight. And HF Guy going to take so much poke. There's traps there. And now it's HF Guy walking straight into it. Fountain goes out, but they want to keep up this harass. The Gauntlet will find some space. And that's going to one-shot going to miss. Fountain's still there from Justman. Apfel's going to heal up with this tree, and I think Doom's going to do the same. If they keep their Fountain and then look for a re-engage soon, then perhaps Mouse can just pull a massive fight. Daredevil going to be stuck in a trap. Down to half HP, but here comes HF Guy. Apfel knocked away from the fight. HF Guy drifting dark, they're ready to go in. Likodov going to dive forward, but there's Apfel going forward as well. Fountain gets popped, one shot turns down Daredevil, but HF Guy's untouched in that drifting dark. They're going to walk into an active camo stun, but it doesn't catch HF Guy, and that's going to be Oblivion splitting up the team. Apfel doing the work, but he may just go down, finds one, he almost finds two. Can Doom do enough? As he's lost Justman, he's going to have to play this perfectly. He can't. He loses his life. And now it's going to be Reliable Union taking a Kraken for themselves.
Honestly, Mousesports should have ended the game when they could. HF Guy is such a monster on this Samuel. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. Very poor trigger finger there, actually, from I'm the Doom. Popping that stun before it was going to land on HF Guy gives him a large window to utilize Drifting Dark. They do so much work. I like this as well, kind of taking a while before they actually finish the Kraken means that they get more of it on more of their minions. They have Likodov up with them for the push. They're not scared of a snipe. Very smart, actually, utilization here. Plus, you take damage from it, you just heal it back up once you actually kill the Kraken. All right, here we go. This is Reliable Union's chance to make things happen. The onus is on Mousesports to engage. We've talked about it. They don't really want to be the team to do that, even though it's worked a couple of times. I don't know. Dalsy, Reliable Union could do this. I really think Mouse should have ended earlier.
It is becoming more and more unlikely, unpredictable.
Oh, HF guy. Oh no. He's
Lots
so
of traps
close to
being
that
set
trap.
up here.
Oh,
They know where Doom is. There's 3 of them.
no!
That's going to be the stun. That's going to be HF guy removed instantly. If they win this fight, they end the game. Daredevil trapped in the Gauntlet's wall. He's not going to be able to escape. I don't think the one shot will land onto Liquidov, but Apfel's got the double kill. They're not going to even bother about this Kraken. It's time to finish the game once and for all. A triple kill for Apfel. Another damn triple kill for Apfel, AJ. Can you believe it? And it's going to be Mouse joining Dynasty in the finals.
Why? Why not Flare? Man, if anyone is going to get jumped on there, you know it's going to be him. You know it's going to be HF guy. Why are you flaring yourself? That was brutal, but really well played by Mousesports towards the end to actually find the opening. You know, admittedly, and I'm critical here, but Reliable Union did have a lot going through their head right now. Like, Kestrel could have been doing a variety of things, maybe even going for a backdoor. Who knows, right? So it's tough. It's tough to make that call. In the end, Mousesports were able to make a few of the better calls.